Okay. So, out of all the gurus that you have read or seen or heard about, who are your favorite gurus? What you like about them? What you like of what you have read or of them?
Well, I'll be honest, I'm not particularly familiar with a lot of gurus. I know really just some quotes from Osho. I never really heard him speak. I have heard a lot of Mahesh Yogi speaking, and he said a lot of good things. And I have heard a little bit about Ramana Maharshi, but really only a little bit. So I'm not maybe the best person to answer this question, but certainly I think Mahesh Yogi and Ramana Maharshi and Osho all have a lot of good things to say. Their approaches are a little different, and they each have different good things to say. So I really like that Maharishi Mahesh Yogi had a very practical, simple technique that someone didn't have to intellectualize about to participate in. They could just do it, and they didn't even have to be a spiritual seeker. They could just do it for any type of improvement in their life. I thought that was very practical knowledge. And good explanations around how this technique worked and how you might progress with it. I think that was good. I think Ramana Maharshi has a very pure perspective on enlightenment that is often overlooked, and people make it more complicated than it has to be, and he really has this simple, true perspective on it. And I think Osho speaks very well and says a lot of things that make a lot of sense, you know. So that about sums it up.
Okay. So, in terms of say like reading, studying versus doing meditation versus the experience in life or practicing whatever you read, whatever you meditate in life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that all three are important. Reading is important, study is important, contemplation is important, or I will say useful. Meditation is useful. Also, like practicing it in day-to-day life, daily life is also useful. So how will you weigh them? Like what you will say that is most important, second most important, third most important? What role you think they play, and how much emphasis you'll put on each of them?
I think the balance between intellectually understanding and experientially understanding, it's something that should be a balance for each individual person. So for somebody that has a lot of experience, somebody who maybe has a lot of experiences of transcendence, of higher states of consciousness, this is quite possible for the human physiology in a healthy state. These experiences it's very useful to have an intellectual knowledge to accompany these kind of experiences. So for such a person, an intellectual understanding is really a key and fundamental thing. For somebody else, the intellectual understanding could be a waste, because without any experience of transcending, without any knowledge of it, it's like trying to describe an orange to someone who has never tasted an orange. Maybe they would not even be interested in the orange until they know how good it tastes. And then after they've tasted the orange, they're, oh, wow, why does it smell like that? And then the intellectual understanding comes in to play more. So this balance between the two, depending on each individual, I think contemplation, I never really considered too much about contemplation, but that's not something I've given a lot of thought to. Certainly, I would say that everything in your life can be a meditation. So a meditation technique like TM is good. can be useful, can be an engine for driving your spiritual evolution, but at the same time, you should not ignore any other aspect of your life and the importance that that could play. So, how you treat other people, that is a behavioral rasana. How you perform your job that makes money, that is also a behavioral rasana. How good a sleep routine you get. No point in meditating if your sleep is bad. How do you get enough of a basic needs for your physiology? Do you drink a clean water? Do you eat a decent food? If you're eating really a lot of bad food, like with a heavy colorants or with flavor enhancers that's stimulating your brain in unusual ways, or if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, all those things could be like an anchor weighing down the boat that you're using to cross this ocean of worldly things to enlightenment. Ultimately, none of those things have to be too serious. You just stop doing them and you continue on your way. But you don't. If you're really set on enlightenment, you don't want anything to slow you down. So, sunlight, fresh air, all these simple things. If there's one thing I learned from the past, going back to a previous question you asked me earlier, is that meditation is really a good tool, but there's some level of balance needed too. So meditation should never be a strain. Meditation comes as something to help you enjoy your life more right now. If you're trying to think, I'm meditating now for some future enlightenment, then you've misunderstood the meditation. You're meditating today so that right after that meditation, you'll enjoy that day more. You'll feel good today. And that's the path to enlightenment. It's not that meditating is like some magic potion that 100 years or 20 years from now, suddenly you get enlightened. No, you do it as part of something as part of everything you enjoy in your life.